Unification. Hey, if you're new to this channel, I tried to make some educational and funny content. Today we're going to do something a little bit more educational. We're looking at unification and what it means in the world of interactive technology. Michael Johnston and his team at the Center for Human-Computer Communication at the Oregon Graduate Institute looked at the advantages of using multimodal interfaces for map-based tasks way back in 1997. Although by today this technology is outdated, the methods of how the system worked as well as the research methodology stay relevant. These researchers set out to see how advantageous a multimodal interface could be over the use of a unimodal input. Now, to clarify these terms, multimodal and unimodal. Multimodal is multiple modalities, multiple ways of interacting with a system, whether it's typing, using your keyboard, talking, touching, all the things we take for granted in our phone today. The use of multimodal interfaces aims to increase what we call the bandwidth between humans and machines. The more ways we have to interact with a computer or any other form of technology, that's the increased bandwidth that we have. The two inputs that they used in this study were a speech interface and a touchscreen used in conjunction with a digital stylus. These researchers found that the use of multimodal interfaces resulted in faster and more accurate input when compared to either a unimodal speech or touch interface. This means that having access to both voice commands and touch works to your benefit. Think about the way that you use your phone and how for some tasks you might prefer to use only your touchscreen, and for others you might like to pop up that digital assistant and just spout commands. In their research, their focus was on a map-based task, and they wanted to highlight some of the advantages over unimodal interfaces, where if you were only to use speech to, for example, draw a green line between two set coordinates, it would take a lot more words and time, not only increasing the amount of effort, but also the chance of error. Instead, if a user were to pick 2 points on the map using touch and then ask the interface to draw a line or a route between the two, it allowed for quicker, more natural, accurate responses. This is a process that we call unification, where the consistency of two pieces of partial information are verified and combined into a single result. They found that gestures were useful in compensating for errors that might occur over speech recognition. An important advantage to multimodal interfaces is having access to the separate modalities, as there might be situations where you don't want to use speech. For example, in the library, where you'd rather ignore that added efficiency and stick only to your touch interface. In this way, we can see that adding further modalities allows users to have an adaptive interface that is more comfortable and more natural to use in a variety of situations. During the mentioned research, they found that recognition technologies are prone to error for various reasons. In the case of gesture recognition, not only do us humans have distinct or sloppy handwriting styles, but also some objects such as map routes do not have a defined shape that can actually define what it is. For this reason, it's important to implement some sort of error detection and correction. This might be in the form of a required, simple and easy predetermined input, or asking the user to verify what they intended as their input. If you've ever, for example, used your phone doing a voice recognition task, there's good reason why it comes back, asks you to confirm what you've asked before going ahead and processing the task. If we go and look at another article, Multimodal Interfaces for Dynamic Interactive Maps, we can see that Oviatt had also looked at the advantages of multimodal interfaces for interactive maps later in 2004 and found that many of the same issues existed when trying to work with a unimodal interface, specifically with speech interaction. It was found that speech-only interaction increased errors and increased the completion time of tasks. In user studies, when users interacted with a multimodal interface, all these problems declined substantially. We can think of the use of multiple outputs and inputs as far more consistent at providing you the information you need. When you play a game, not only do you have visual clues, you have audio cues, in addition to what might be a vibrating controller. For your phone, you might have a distinct ringtone for a phone call, or another for a text message, accompanied by a unique vibration pattern. When two outputs are combined, you are more likely to be aware of it. But you also have the flexibility that if, for example, you enter a classroom or a library, you can shut off the modality of sound to only have that discrete output of vibration. To summarize, what is unification? It's taking multiple modalities, such as sound, touch, and visual input, and unifying them to help you, the user, not only have a more accurate ability to interact with your technology, but to also have choice. With that, we conclude our section on multimodal interfaces. If you're interested in learning more about interactive technology, feel free to look at my section on the senses of touch, on haptics, and on multimodal interfaces. Next up, we're going to be delving more into the actual applications and devices that take these concepts and use them in real-world applications. Things like prosthetic skin that feels, real-world haptic displays, augmented reality, flexible designs, smartwatches, a lot of the tech you might not even think about, but is designed to help you and the people around you use the technology that you enjoy so much. And if you do enjoy this type of content or any other content that I've made, please share the videos. If you like the videos, make sure to hit that like button. And otherwise, no matter where you are in this world, do make sure that you have a good day, a good night, and a good morning. Bye-bye.